Hi. In this episode, we're going to talk about process priority. Every single process that begins and ends in Linux is given a certain amount of resources in order to complete the task or to work. It's given a certain percentage or proportion of CPU and memory, and prioritizing processes allows you to tweak that proportion of CPU and memory available for certain processes. That proportion is represented by something called a nice level. A nice level defines the scheduling priority for your processes. It ranges from really high priority, which is a number like in the negatives, -20, to the lowest priority, which is a number like 19. Now, before you start any command or any sort of script or process, you can identify a nice level with a nice -n and give a priority to that scheduled process or to that script or whatever you're running, and tweak the proportion of CPU and memory allotted to that process. If you set a high number somewhere in the negatives, you're going to get more proportionally CPU and memory for your process. And if you set a low number, proportionally, you would get less. Now, once you actually have a running process already, you can still adjust its priority by using the command renice, give a different priority number, and then identify the process with its process ID, allowing you to change the priority of a running process. In this upcoming lab, we're going to show how to use the nice command as well as the renice command and allow you to see how this affects the amount of CPU provided or scheduled or really allowed for specific processes. Please stay tuned in this lab where we talk about process priority. In this episode, we're going to talk about process priorities. Now, how that works is based on nice levels. A nice level is really a rating from -19 all the way to 20. -19 means the process, which is given this nice level, is actually extremely prioritized. All the compute resources proportionally will actually go here first because of the nice level. Whereas a process which is given this is by the way, low nice level, will get really low priority when it comes to scheduling the compute resources. So there's high priority and low priority you can set to your processes based on the numbers. Generally speaking, most processes, when you start them, start right in the middle at 0, and you can adjust the nice level accordingly. So before you actually type in a command to start a script or start some process, you can give nice -n and give a specific nice level to the process that you are starting. You can pre-adjust the nice level and based on some command or process that you're starting. And then when you are wanting to reprioritize, you can say renice -n followed by whatever nice level and -p followed by that process ID to reprioritize a process and adjust its nice level, thus adjusting how many compute resources this process should have. So to show you, let's go ahead into activities and start a process with an adjusted nice level. I'm going to say nice -n and give a nice level of 5, and the process will be a DD process, input file from dev0, output file will be dev null, and I'll just run this process in the background with an adjusted priority. I'll run this process again without the adjusted priority so you can then see the difference between how much resources are scheduled for this process and how much resources are scheduled for this process with the adjusted priority. To show you that, let me actually show you through the top utility, the table of processes utility. And here you can see that one of these is actually having a lot less CPU usage, the second DD, because of this adjusted priority. it's actually treated as lower in the scale since the process priority is 5 as a nice value, and thus using less compute resources based on its nice level. If I want to adjust the priority, I can use the renice command. So let's actually snag the process ID for it. I'm going to right click and just copy the process ID of this process. And now I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to say renice minus n, and I'll give it even higher or lower priority. I'll say 15 and minus p and that process ID, where now you can see I have adjusted from the old priority of 5 to an even lower priority of 15. Now watch, you can see that now it's even less compute resources available for this process. By the way, I should mention, if you are wanting to increase the priority, you need root permissions. So I can actually also say sudo renice minus n. I can put minus 5 to adjust it to a higher priority, minus 5. And minus p and my process, I'll give the sudo password, and now you can see the old priority is 15, and now I have increased the priority to minus 5. Now watch here. Now this process is actually going to have increased priority because of its adjusted nice level. Now it's actually having more compute resources because of its adjusted nice level. So that is using the nice as well as the renice command in order to adjust a process priority, thus adjusting how much compute resources are going to be given to it based on the priority. I hope you've learned something, and I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.